Someone said to me, if 50% of the experts in Hollywood said you had no talent and should give up, what would you do? My answer was then, and still is, if 100% told me that, all 100% would be wrong, is one of many Marilyn Monroe quotes. It all started when Marilyn Monroe was born on June 1st, 1926, in Los Angeles, California. What she had as a childhood would not be expected for the life that she made and everyone remembers. Her father did not want to be known and was said to have died very young. On the other hand, Marilyn Monroe's mother had psychological problems and was placed in a mental institution. Because of that, Monroe was put into a foster home starting at a very young age. The thing that all of the homes she stayed in lacked was the love and caring she needed as a child. They knew only how to provide reasonable homes and surroundings. At the age of only 7, she was sexually assaulted, and at 11, she was raped. Finally, she was taken in by a friend of her mother's, which was a better suit for her than going from foster home to foster home. The downside to living with them was that they did not allow her to go to the movies. She was devastated because at the time she knew what she wanted to do in her life, but when she could, she went to the movies, mainly on Mondays. Eventually, the family decided to move without taking Monroe. That same year, in 1942, she married 21-year-old Jimmy Daltrey at 16. Jimmy went to serve the country. At the time, Monroe was out to make a career for herself, starting with getting a job at an aircraft parts factory. This was a good thing because when a man came to take pictures of the women working, Monroe caught his eye. The man asked to arrange more photographic sessions with her. When Jimmy returned, he told her she had to choose between her career and him. She chose her career. The year 1946 is when she signed her first movie contract and divorced Jimmy. She decided to have her name changed from Norma Jean Baker to what we know her as, Marilyn Monroe. Adding to her new life, she also changed her hair color to blonde, which both of these things were suggested by Ben Loyne from 20th Century Fox. In the 1950s, her career started to really take off. At the time, Marilyn had insecurities about herself and was surprised when men complimented her on her beauty. Over the years, she starred in movies like The Asphalt Jungle, All About Eve, Niagara, How to Marry a Millionaire, Some Like It Hot, and The Business Like Show Business. She had 2 other marriages, all ending in divorce. Marilyn also moved to New York to study acting with Lee Stansberg. She was serious about her acting career. She said, "I don't mind making jokes, but I don't want to look like one." In my words, she wanted to be taken seriously and not looked at as just some girl that thought acting would be fun and had no potential. On May 19, 1962, Monroe made her now famous performance at John F. Kennedy's birthday celebration, singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
Through all this, she got many followers, both men and women. Today, she is still considered the world's most popular icon of sex appeal and beauty, and is remembered for her sense of humor and sly wit. Monroe had a problem with mixing champagne and pills together. She was said to be bipolar and had insomnia. She would take sleeping pills to be able to get some rest. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn was found dead with a bottle of sleeping pills beside her. She died at the age of 36. Monroe was buried in her favorite Emilio Pucci dress. Her ex-husband, Joe, famously had red roses delivered to her crypt for the next 20 years. Marilyn Monroe died very young, but lived a memorable life. Monroe has been imitated over the years by a number of celebrities, including Madonna, Lady Gaga, and Gwen Stefani. Now, more than half a century later, the world is still fantasized by her beauty and talent. She has been mentioned in many songs. One of my favorites today is Marilyn Monroe by Nicki Minaj.
You know how to answer that since they misinterpret that, meaning I'm not in inches or something. I'm not talking about
She was an actress, singer, and model. All of this is related to how she became a leader to women that live today. She was an influential leader. She was not perfect and did not live a perfect life. Something that made her a better person was that she knew she was not perfect. Marilyn Monroe showed us women that we need to be determined, know what we want in life, go for it, embrace our flaws and imperfections, telling us through her actions that we can do anything that we set our minds to. Even if we all have flaws and imperfections, we are all beautiful. She once said, "Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring." When she was younger, people told her that she was not beautiful. Instead of letting that get to her, she used it as motivation and showed them that there is beauty in everything. She has influenced fashion. She can be found everywhere in today's world. It seems that she is still alive, and we are all in love with the idea of her. Monroe had her own glow and style. At that time, people did not dress how they wanted to, but Marilyn was not like the others and wore what she wanted. Her legacy is very related to what makes her a leader. Because Monroe was a great leader to women and some men, she will stay with us for many years to come. All for doing what she wanted without letting anyone stop her. We admire her for that. She set good examples for us and also some bad ones, but we get to learn from her mistakes. This is why I chose her for this project. Many of us know who she is and what she did, but not why. Also to remind women that she is a true example that a woman does not need to be perfect to be beautiful. There is beauty in everything, and Marilyn Monroe showed us that. She will live on with us for many, many years. There was my name up in lights. I said, "God, somebody's made a mistake." But there it was, in lights. And I sat there and said, "Remember, you're not a star." Yet there it was, up in lights.